What's up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to the Hood Astro Queen. To all of my returning subscribers, however, if this is your first time joining me on today, be sure to hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. And today, I am going to be talking about the importance of the ascendant in astrology, okay? As well as the personality profile, the overall archetype of the Aries Ascendant. And this is going to be a new series, so I will eventually work my way around through each of the ascendant signs. But let's start with the ascendant. What is the ascendant? Now, your ascendant sign, also known as your rising sign, these two are kind of used interchangeably, is essentially the sign that was rising on the eastern horizon at the exact moment that you were born. So this is why it's very important to have your exact time of birth when using house placements or trying to get a birth chart reading in astrology. You can still get a reading, okay? However, it'll be impossible to determine your ascendant sign, meaning it'll therefore be impossible to even use house placers because your ascendant sign is essentially the building block of how the layout of your chart is going to unfold. The birth chart is comprised of 12 houses, which directly reflect the 12 signs of the zodiac. And the very first house is the house that kicks off what other signs occupy the rest of those houses. Understand? So that's why it's important to know what sign that's placed in that first house, because that's also known as the rising or the ascendant. However, it is essentially kind of like the front door. It's the front door, the introduction, the gateway into your identity, into your personality, which is why your ascendant sign is also known as the mask that you wear when you're meeting other people. It's your autopilot, and it's also commonly referred to as your personality, the way that you interact with the world, the way that you engage with the world. Your rising sign is the perception other people have of you before getting to know you on a more personal or intimate level. And it could also be the mask or the shield, so to speak, that you wear while navigating through unfamiliar spaces. It can also deal with your physical appearance and even traits, okay? Physical traits, the way that your body looks. So with that being said, the planet that rules your ascendant sign is going to have elevated importance in your life. And a lot of people refer to this as the chart ruler, okay? And your chart ruler, the planet that rules your chart, is going to set the tone for very prevalent or prominent themes that take place. Okay, your chart ruler is essentially going to tell you a lot about how you interpret the world, your approach to life, and it can essentially kind of trickle down and outwards into the way people naturally respond to you. So starting with Aries on the ascendant, okay? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So if you were born with Aries on your ascendant, you were born with the luxury of having the rest of your birth chart in alignment with their natural ruling signs, okay? Each house is governed by their natural sign. So with the first house or your ascendant being governed by its natural sign of Aries, this naturally makes Mars your chart ruler. And a lot of people who have Mars as their chart ruler are going to encounter themes throughout life that force them to, I guess, come face to face, if you will, with their identity, because Aries on the ascendant is the I am. Okay, it forces you to identify yourself or undergo experiences that shape your identity. Figure out who the fuck you are, okay? It also presents obstacles or maybe situations in life that are going to determine the way in which you exert your willpower, okay? Or the way that you allow other people to exert their willpower onto you. It forces you to grapple with your passions, the things that drive you. These are going to be very prominent, motivating forces in your life, which is why a lot of Aries ascendants are known for their exceptional leadership qualities. Aries is a cardinal sign. It's a cardinal fire. So it literally directs and it initiates new ways of being. These people are driven by their passions. They're propelled forward by their desires. Okay, that's going to be another main theme amongst Aries ascendants. And you're probably an Aries ascendant if you were born anywhere from around 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. So these people physically tend to be kind of athletic looking. And of course, this is not taking into consideration how these houses or how your ascendant is aspected or what other planets occupy the first house. So for instance, you could be an Aries ascendant, but if Jupiter is squaring your ascendant, you're going to be somebody who gains weight easier. You might be a bit heftier, on the more hefty side of the picture. So, when talking about these houses and the overall archetype of these ascendant signs, I don't want people in my comment section telling me that they're the exception to the rule. What planet is occupying those houses and how are they being aspected? Okay. Nonetheless, okay, your stereotypical Aries ascendant is very, they can even be kind of svelte. I think that's how you say it, svelte looking, naturally muscular. They may or may not have played sports, although a lot of Aries ascendants have engaged in some type of physical sport in their lifetime, or just be very much like physically like active. They do a lot of moving around. These are people kind of like an example of a celebrity with Aries on the ascendant as far as their physical look is Rihanna. Okay, she's and even though lately she has been kind of a little on the thicker side, thick, but she's a naturally slim chick. She's naturally slim. These people are also very much known for their leadership abilities, as I stated before. However, on a lower vibrational level, they can be perceived as rather bossy, a lot more aggressive and hands-on than your typical person. And this comes from Mars and Mars' desire to really take charge and get shit started. Now, another manifestation of Aries on the ascendant is impulsiveness or impulsivity, however you want to say it. And out of a desire to kind of get up and go, these people can actually be they can lead themselves into like a lot of not so great places and spaces in life due to like making a lot of reckless decisions. These people can often even leap before they jump. And this could also manifest in them being very in your face, kind of a very in your face type of personality. These people can even be very honest. Now, unlike Sagittarius ascendants who are kind of honest because it's like, oh, I just don't like lying. Why lie? Aries on the ascendant, Aries ascendants can definitely be the type of people who are honest because they just open their mouths before they even think about it. So they can come across as very brash, crass, blunt, very much like what you see is what you get with me. I'm wearing my identity on the outside. This is who I am. So you can like it or you can not like it. And on a more positively harnessed level, this can come across as them being very assertive. But, on the negative side, they can come off as downright aggressive. Mars, their chart ruler, is also known as the warrior planet. So these people are naturally kind of designed or hardwired and programmed for combat. I'm going to get what I want by exerting my willpower, my force. And it usually doesn't work the other way around. These people aren't the type of people that are going to easily take shit lying down. Now, of course, depending on how their ascendant is aspected and whatever else is going on could modify this energy signature. But your stereotypical Aries ascendants are very much They're direct and they know exactly what it is that they want, and they're very much connected with their own sense of willpowers. These people are also driven by their animalistic instincts. These people have great instincts, but they can even be primitive in a way, in the way that they operate, meaning, if these people are physically attracted to someone else, they can become very sexual, hypersexual, or even driven or led by their desires. And so you do have some Aries ascendants, depending on how their ascendant is aspected and whatever else is going on in the chart. These people can be rather promiscuous. They can be just some downright badasses. Once again, leading me back to that Rihanna example. Granted, she's also an Aries moon, but, she definitely encompasses that energy that, if I want to be sexy, I'm going to be sexy and sexual. If I want to be, a badass, I'm going to be a badass. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. You can't tell me what to do. That's very much Aries on the ascendant. And even if you're not as edgy, you're still very much in control of your direct space. You know what I'm saying? What's going on around you, and you're very sure about what it is that you want, and you're going for it. Now, a pitfall of having Aries on the ascendant is that these people do tend to lack endurance. So being a mutable fire sign, they can absolutely get things popping, right? These people are very much goal driven, passion driven. They can, start the party, initiate. However, they do lack a certain level of endurance to where they can be burnt out quickly. And this could also manifest as them starting projects and then losing interest, or maybe even as it pertains to dating, you might kind of be interested in somebody, and if they play too many games or is doing too much, you're out. Your interest in things can kind of be it can kind of fluctuate, you know what I mean? And also in that same vein of them being very animalistic in nature, animals, when you look at Animal Planet and all of these animal documentaries, all animals in the wild are connected by this theme of self-preservation, right? It's just all a part of nature. The lion attacks the warthog because, look, it's either you or me. The same thing with what do warthogs eat? But y'all get my point. The animal, especially the apex predators, they go after their prey. They do what they have to do. And it all comes from a perspective of there's no feelings in the wild. It comes down to survival. Okay. So with that being said, Aries ascendants have impeccable survival instincts, but it could also translate into them being the type of people who are naturally selfish. And when I always discuss this word as it relates to that Aries energy signature, selfishness isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, we all need self-preservation to a certain level, because you have people like, Pisces and Pisces ascendants who completely lack it, which is why they find themselves in areas or positions of vulnerability and victimization so much. However, Aries ascendants can absolutely come off as very selfish in nature. And it's because they have to secure themselves in what they need, their needs, their basic desires, in order to be of any type of use or assistance to anyone else. So, that can kind of make them come off as very even one track minded. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, I'm going to go for what it is that I want. And we're not changing the subject here. This is what I want. I'm going to secure all of my direct needs in that respect. Unless it's just too complicated, then like I said, maybe they'll lose interest, or they'll find something else that they're really passionate about and then just go for it. But these people are always going to put a full heart effort into whatever it is that they're doing. Okay, these are very, very passionate people. Fire does deal with passions. Also, in that same vein of them being very impulsive, these people can be impatient. Okay, that's another manifestation of Aries on the ascendant. And they can also have a desire to live life on the edge, which kind of also ties back into that theme of a lot of Aries ascendants being kind of bold and daring and edgy. They don't have time to pussyfoot around things. They want to get right to the chase, right to the point, and like I said, they're driven by the things that satisfy them on a very animalistic level. Like, oh, I want sex. Let me put out the sexual energy. I want to fuck. Or I see somebody that's attractive. Yes, let's do that. Well, I want to fight. Let's fight. Now, they are quick to move on from things. These people aren't the type of people that hold grudges. But they, a lot of Aries ascendants are, like I said, almost like animals. And I hate to compare y'all to animals. But it's just very, you're connected with your inner animal. It's like how, you don't have to ask a dog, like, oh, are you hungry? Are you feeling this way? Your Rottweiler is going to do whatever comes instinctively, or if they feel threatened, they're going to bite your head off. If they are horny, they're going to hump the pillow or another dog. If they're tired, they're going to sleep. It's very, very similar. Aries is also a masculine sign, and the divine masculine, from a spiritual perspective, is essentially the force that allows us to project and externalize a lot of our desires, materialize a lot of our desires, which definitely is consistent with that theme of Aries ascendants being very much go-getters, leaders, the need to be in control, or them possessing the need to be in control of a lot of things in their life. They are very much in tune with the divine masculine. And as a result, even women with Aries on the ascendant can come off as very masculine. They might even, look a little masculine with, like I said, the ascendant governing your physical appearance. These women could be tomboys at some points in their lives. Now, this does not necessarily have any type of implications on their sexuality as far as like, being a lesbian or something like that. Although, once again, you would have to check the different aspects and the different planetary placements, but that's not necessarily true, but these women are just very much alpha women. These are women who are very much more in tune with a lot of that masculine energy than your average woman. And so, especially when you take into consideration the way that a lot of women are socialized, we're supposed to be this, and we're supposed to be that, and we're supposed to be do. A lot of Aries ascendant women can counter societal expectations. These women can be a lot more, like I said, crass. I've seen a lot of Aries ascendant women who will burp you under the table, fart, scratch, itch, They'll, get into a bar fight with the rest of them. They can hang with the guys. And it's not in a sense that they're trying to. It's just they're naturally kind of hardwired for that. Another thing that I noticed amongst the Aries ascendants, particularly those who were born or whose ascendant sits closer to the 12th house, these people could have come from a rather violent background, so to speak, or perhaps while you were in your mother's womb, your mother had undergone some kind of trauma during pregnancy. Maybe she had a very volatile relationship with your father, or maybe she was upset a lot. Maybe she was engaged in a lot of conflict and confrontation throughout her pregnancy or something to that effect. I always notice that with, like I said, Aries ascendants who typically are closer to the 12th house. Also, because once again, your ascendant does govern your physical body. Aries governs the head as well as the face. So any major afflictions to the ascendant for Aries ascendants can result in cuts, burns, or injuries to the face. So be very, very careful, right? And yeah, I didn't want this video to be too long. So yes, this kicks off my new series of the ascendant signs. So Aries ascendant, y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of this video. What has been your experience in this world as an Aries ascendant, okay? And yeah, make sure you guys practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.